Hey there, let's talk about a form that, let's be honest, can look pretty intimidating. This Social Security Administration's Work History Report. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be. We're going to break it down step by step and show you that it's really just a structured way for you to tell your story. So let's dive in. Right from the get-go, the form tells you exactly why it's so important. This isn't just about listing old jobs. It's your opportunity to connect the dots for the SSA, to show them a clear line between the demands of your past work and what your health condition allows you to do now. So here's our game plan. First, we'll get into why this whole thing matters so much. Then, we'll cover the basic rules of the road for filling it out. After that, we'll get into the real meat of it, listing your jobs, describing what they were really like, and finally, we'll cover those last few details. Think of it as our roadmap to get this done right. All right, first things first, why does this form even exist? Seriously, if you understand its purpose, filling it out becomes a whole lot easier and way more effective. Every little detail you put down here, how much you had to lift, how many hours you were on your feet, whether you had to manage a team, it all paints a picture for the disability examiner. They use this info to understand your skills and, even more importantly, to grasp the real physical and mental toll your jobs took. That context, it is absolutely essential for your claim. Okay, let's move on to the basics. Before you even think about writing down your first job, we need to go over the ground rules. They're printed right on the form, and trust me, following them is going to make this whole process go a lot smoother. Rule 1, make it readable. So either print clearly or type it out. Second, and this is a big one, don't leave any questions blank. If something doesn't apply to you, just write none or N/A. That way they know you didn't just miss it. Third, if it asks you to explain something, give some detail. And last, don't try to cram everything into a tiny box. If you need more space, that's what the remarks section at the end is for. And now we get to the main event, actually listing your past jobs. We're starting right on page 1, which is all about getting your basic info down and then creating that master list of your work history. Section 1 is the easy part, just your full name, social security number, and a phone number where they can actually reach you during the day. Simple as that. Now, Section 2. This is where you build the master list of your jobs. And the time frame here is super important. They want to know about every job you had in the 15 years leading up to when you became unable to work. You want to get this list right because the rest of the form is based entirely on it. So, to fill this out, start with your most recent job and work your way back. Use your official job title. For type of business, be specific. Don't just say food service, say Italian restaurant. And do your best to get those start and end dates as accurate as possible. Okay, deep breath. This next part is where we get into the weeds, but don't worry, we're going to take it one piece at a time. The form gives a whole page to break down the details of each job you listed, starting with number 1 on your list. So for that first job on your list, you'll start with the basics, your pay rate, how many hours a day and days a week you worked. Then you get to the big description box. This is your chance to explain what you actually did all day long. And be specific here, Think about all the tasks, from the big projects to the small, repetitive stuff. Below that, it's just a few simple yes or no questions about using tools, technical skills, or writing reports. And remember what I said. If that box is too small for your job description, just write a little note that says, "See remarks section." The bottom half of the page is all about the physical stuff. How many hours a day were you walking, standing, sitting, climbing?
Then it gets really specific about lifting and carrying. Try to be as honest and accurate as you can. Think about the absolute heaviest thing you ever had to lift, but also what you lifted over and over again all day long.
Now, this is a key detail, so lean in. When the form asks what weight you've frequently lifted, that's not just a casual word. It has a very specific meaning here. It means lifting something for about 1/3 to 2/3 of your workday. So if you are moving 20-pound boxes for 3 hours in an 8-hour day, that's frequently.
And finally, at the bottom of the page, there are a few questions about being a supervisor. Did you manage people? If so, how many? Were you what they call a lead worker? Answering this stuff helps them understand the level of responsibility and the mental strain your job involved. So, you just did all that detailed work for one job. Guess what? Now you just rinse and repeat. You're going to use the next few pages in the form to give that same level of detail for every single job you put on that list back in section 2. We are on the home stretch, I promise. Once you've gone through and detailed all of your jobs, there's just one last section to go through to make sure you've given them everything they need. And that brings us to the remarks section on the last page. You should think of this space as your catch-all. It's your opportunity to add any extra details or context that just didn't quite fit into the neat little boxes on the other pages. So, when would you use this? Well, if you ran out of room describing a job, you finish it here. If you had more than 5 jobs to list, you detail the extra ones here. Or if there's just anything else you think is important for them to know about your work, this is the place to put it. Don't be afraid to use it. And the very, very last thing, please don't forget this part, is the signature block at the bottom of the last page. It doesn't matter if you filled it out yourself or if someone helped you. This part has to be completed. It's what makes the whole thing official. And that's it. See? The work history report isn't just a pile of paperwork. It's the professional chapter of your story, and it provides the critical context for your disability claim. When you break it down and you're thorough, you can paint a really clear, powerful picture for them. So the only question left is, are you ready to tell your story?